Hi everyone. Good morning for the people who have joined from India and good evening for the people who have joined from US. Thank you for joining this demo. And before I start this demo, I would actually like to appreciate you guys for taking this step to actually upskill in your careers. And I'm very glad that we are here today to learn something new. And I'm also very glad that we are at an early time of the day, which is almost 7 a.m. And thank you for joining. So before I start the demo, uh, I would like to request you guys to park your questions for the end of the demo. I'll answer each and every question of yours at the end of the demo without any doubt. But just so that the experience for everyone would be seamless, I just request you to park your questions for the end of the demo. And before I start the demo, are you guys actually able to see my screen? Can someone confirm if they're able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So why did we actually gather here today? Today we are actually going to see what are the steps that we are going to take to master Playwright automation using its AI agents as well. So what are we going to learn in this course? And why are we actually choosing Playwright in this course? So the first one, we are actually seeing a lot of legacy automation failing on the CI/CD pipelines nowadays. Why are we actually seeing these problems? One of the most important reasons that we are seeing this is the flakiness in test cases. So the test cases start failing randomly, and the next time they start passing randomly again. That is because there is a lot of flakiness in at least 80% of the QA teams. That is why the CI/CD pipelines are very unstable. And then the slow execution. So with the existing tools like Selenium, Catalan Studio, or whatever that is there, and being regarded as the legacy automation tool, and everybody please go on mute. Yeah, so we are actually, can you guys please go on mute? Okay. So as I was telling, the slow execution of the existing legacy automation tools, which is also causing delays in delivery of the product to the production. And then the maintenance hell. So as fast as your application changes and as fast as your locators change, everything on the UI is changing and your test cases are breaking. So how do you actually overcome this? So this whole concept of maintenance hell, fixing the locators and everything, even Playwright doesn't give it to you out of the box. So that is why they have created this whole new feature called AI agents, which can actually heal your scripts based on the locators that are there on your web page. So what is the Playwright advantage that you are getting over the existing legacy tools? So they are very fast. So they are almost 3 times faster than a Selenium test. And they only use one API to interact with any browser. Like Selenium, they don't have a Chrome driver, um, Firefox driver, Safari driver, and everything. They only have one API that actually deals with all the browsers, and everything comes out of the box. And then it has a lot of powerful tooling. Like it has a built-in inspector. You can actually open their inspector and check what is wrong with your script. They have this another tool called CodeGen, For very beginners who don't even know how to actually write any code, they can use this as a record and play tool. This code gen works as a record and play tool, which will actually generate the code from scratch. And then another beautiful feature of Playwright, which is trace viewer, which we are actually going to see in the demo now, which will actually show you an end-to-end skeleton of how the test case ran, like where did the button click happen, what did the network calls show you, what are the attachments that are actually happening with the whole test suite, and what are the different types of actions that are happening in the browser console. So you will see everything from end to end with this trace viewer. And then you have a lot of modern web support features like native handling of shadow DOM. So handling of shadow DOM is very easy in Playwright. When I say very easy, you don't have to do anything separately for shadow DOM like you do for other automation tools. And then support for iframes and dynamic pop-ups, handling pop-ups, multiple pages, and all is very easy in Playwright. The only thing you need to write is a single line of code. That makes it very easy for you guys to use Playwright or any other legacy tool that is already there in the market. And one of the most important thing about Playwright is its auto waiting capability. I know a lot of people are interested to know what is this auto waiting capability. So basically in Selenium, if you want to click on an element, you actually have to wait. You actually have to write a code to wait until the element is actually clickable, right? In Playwright, you don't have to do that. In Playwright, it whenever you say to click on an element, it will only click on an element after it makes at least 6 or 7 checks. So it will check if it is attached to DOM, if it is visible, if it is in a position to receive events, if it is stable, if it is enabled, and if it is editable. Then only it is actually gonna go and click on that element. Of course, editable is not for clicking an element. It might be for entering a text into a text box. But the idea is it is actually going to do all of these checks without you writing any code over there. The only thing that you need to write is just the click statement. So it is that easy, and it has this very good auto waiting capability until everything is actually working as expected. So what comes with this? What is the use of this auto waiting? In the first slide, we saw about test flakiness, right? This test flakiness actually happens because of all these issues where we are not able to check if it is attached to DOM or visible or stable or it is able to receive events and everything. That is why you see a lot of flakiness in the existing legacy automation tools nowadays. So this auto waiting capability, you need not write this whole thing called thread.sleep. So it will take care of it. And it will actually provide you rock solid stability and near zero flakiness in your test cases. And then, like I told you, the debugging time traveler, which is the trace viewer. So it will actually show you live snapshots. You can actually exactly see what the DOM looked like at every step, like which element appeared, which element disappeared. And then you can actually see the network requests in the network tab, what network request has happened during the whole test case. And then you can also see the browser console logs that has happened throughout the whole test case. And the most important and the most asked feature of Playwright nowadays, it's AI agents. So it has three AI agents. The first one is the planner AI agent. So the only thing that you need to tell Playwright is you need to tell this is my web page. Please write me test cases. So it is actually going to create test cases for you. And then the test generator AI agent. What this AI agent is going to do is actually going to take a look at the test plan that you have created and then write the test cases for you in native JavaScript or TypeScript in your files. And then the healer agent. What does this healer agent do? So tomorrow, let's say a deployment has happened to your environment, and then they have changed the locator of some element. When you run your test case, automatically it is going to fail. But then using this healer agent, you can actually tell, hey, my test case is failing. Can you please check why this is failing and fix if any locators are changed? It will actually try to fix your code to make sure it is mirroring whatever is already there on the application. So whatever changes that have happened to the elements on the DOM are actually going to get reflected in your test script. And all you have to do is just approve its changes. And then when you run it again, your test cases are going to pass. And what is the market demand for Playwright nowadays? So Playwright actually started on production in May 2021. So today, 2026 January, the number of Playwright NPM downloads on an enterprise level, I'm not just talking about a personal thing, on an enterprise level, they have increased by almost 10,000 fold. So imagine the increase if the increase on enterprise level is around 10,000 fold, how many people are doing it for freelancing and what is the percentage increase for normal people? So it is like too much. And if you see any QA job posting or automation job posting today, even though they are expecting the main tool to be something else, they are expecting everybody to have an exposure to this JavaScript or TypeScript automation tools like Playwright or Cypress. That is because a lot of UI is being developed using React.js or Vue.js or JavaScript basically. So they also want to migrate to tools that are native. So Playwright is a tool that is native to JavaScript or TypeScript. So that is why they actually want to people to have a knowledge on Playwright, even though their requirement says they want somebody who is actually having experience in Selenium. But if they are expecting Playwright for a role that they are actually looking for Selenium, imagine how many job postings you see today have Playwright as their keyword in their job descriptions. Like if there are 100 automation engineer posts today, you are at least seeing 90 job descriptions that require Playwright. So the market demand for Playwright has increased like multifold, and there is this Playwright competitor called Cypress, and in the last 3 years, the use of Cypress has actually drastically gone down just because of people using Playwright. Only people who have thousands of test cases in Selenium or Cypress are actually struggling to move to Playwright. But people who are actually starting out from scratch and people who are actually not having too many test cases to migrate, they're immediately picking Playwright and are moving there. And that is why you see a lot of demand for Playwright in the job market right now. And then what are the salary trends in 2025? The reason you see 2025 here is we are only 1 month into 2026 and we don't have a good survey data for it. But at least until the end of 2025, like October or November 2025, see the difference between a normal manual tester to a playwright test is somewhere between 65,000 to 1 lakh $35,000. So in Indian rupees, although it is not exactly equal to 80 or 90 times. So for a person who is having 4 to 5 years of experience as an estate, if he is actually having experience in sale playwright, the amount is he's actually being paid in a service-based company is close to 12 lakh per annum. But for Selenium, it is around 9 lakhs. I don't even want to talk about what they're paying for a manual tester right now. But since we are by the end of this course, since we are going to be automation testers, let's not talk about that. So that is how it is. And imagine the salaries in mid-range product based companies and then enterprise level product based companies and startups. So enterprise level product based companies like Cisco and startup companies like Meesho or whatever you see on the free cash, cash free payments, Dhruva, all these elite startups, they are hiring people specifically on Playwright with around 20 to 25 lakh per annum packages if they have around 5 to 6 years of experience. So that is why companies are actually paying a lot of high premium for this modern automation skills. So switching to Playwright can increase your salary by at least 40 to 50%. I'm not talking about the maximum potential is 40 to 50%. The at least when you switch, the number that you're actually seeing is 40 to 50%. So this is how the salary trends have changed for tools like automation tools like Playwright in the market. So what are we actually going to see in the curriculum? So initially, you're actually going to see the basics. So what do the basics include? The basics include JavaScript and TypeScript basics. So previously we were only teaching TypeScript, but then we understood that there are enterprises and companies who are still there on JavaScript. So that is why we're actually going to start from JavaScript, then move on to TypeScript. So this part will take some time where you are actually foundationally strong in coding. And then we'll actually move to the basics of Playwright. We'll see how to actually locate elements using Playwright smart locators, how to do UI interactions and assertions. And then we will see how to build advanced things using Playwright like authentication, reporting, all these kind of things. And then we'll actually see API testing, these kind of things. And then we'll actually build a end-to-end framework using Playwright and TypeScript from scratch with all the helper functions and everything, so that by the time you go out of this course, you'll also be able to build a framework of your own without anyone's help. And we'll also see integration with CI/CD pipelines like GitHub Action, and we'll see how um, Playwright actually takes care of running your test cases in parallel. And we'll also see how to integrate some custom reports in Playwright like Oliver Reporter or these kind of things. So whatever Playwright actually gives out of the box, their own reporter, which is HTML reporter, is also very, very, very good. But the enterprises actually want us to use the legacy and the existing methodologies like Allure reporting or extended reporting. So that is why we'll also see them. So why do you actually have to join our course? So this is a live instructor-led course. So a lot of people crave for a live instructor-led course because they want to see everything live and they want to get their doubts clarified on spot. And the second reason is all these lectures are recorded. So even if you miss something due to a personal thing, you can always get the recording, see the recording and come to the next class. And we are actually going to do a real project on a e-commerce application which I have built myself from scratch so that you guys will be able to understand the application well and then automate it from end to end. So the idea is to make sure the application looks real instead of making you work on dummy applications, because an application that looks end to end will actually give you confidence that you can automate for your own company or for your own client when if you are doing freelancing. And then you're actually going to get a certificate from Isha Training Solutions for this. And then at the end of this course, you will get a document from me about the interview questions that you might get asked in the interviews for specifically for Playwright. Now that we have already gone through what is actually there in this course, let me go ahead and show you how we can actually generate a test plan, create test cases, and heal the test cases, along with the whole concept of how do you use trace viewer to make sure you see a snapshot of how your test case has run. So in this demo today, I'll show you how to use the AI agents of Playwright, and also I'll show you how to work with trace viewer. Okay. So now I am in my code editor. You can see. So what I'm going to show you is, so I told you that we already have a website. So this is my e-commerce website, or this is our e-commerce website where we're actually going to do our practice. So let me give you a small walkthrough. So here you can come, you can search for your products, filter your by categories, filter by price, and then you have a multi-category filter. You can add items to cart, and then you can actually go to your cart, and then you can check out, increase the cart item, and then you can actually give all the names and just say place order. So once you have placed your orders, you can come back to your orders page. You can delete your existing orders. You can clear all your orders if there are more than one. So since this is a demo website, you can actually create your own account with the sign up here. You will actually get a link to verify your account. You can verify it and then you can use it as your own. Okay. So this website is actually having enhanced security. So you'll require strong password. It has rate limiting protection. And then data encryption happens in transit, and then secure session management is also there. So this app is very secure and you don't have to think twice to use this. So this is where all the previous batches have actually done their practice and secured good placements over in good companies. So this is the application. So let's do one thing. Let's ask the Playwright agent to create a test plan for this application's login page. Okay, now let's go back to our code editor, VS Code. So VS Code is the code editor that we'll be using in our whole course. Okay, so now I'm going to say, please create a test plan. Please create a test plan. Are you guys able to see this, or is it, do I need to zoom it for you guys?
It looks
Yes,
alright to me. Yeah.
good.
Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, please create a test plan for this website. So keeping the time constraint, I'm actually going to ask it only to create a test plan for login page. So I'm going to say only create the test plan for login page for now. So here you can actually select whatever model you want. So here I'm actually going to select GPT-5 mini. and then try to give it. So if you actually see now, it is actually creating the test plan. It is actually telling you what is in progress. So now it is actually working. It is actually going to this website and then trying to create a test plan for login page. So now it has started the Playwright's MCP server. It is asking me if I can allow going to that and run a test case so that it will actually save all the locators and everything. And then it is asking me if it can actually navigate to the URL. It is asking me a permission. You need to give it a permission. So it will ask you for a series of permissions. You can give the series of permissions. So now it is telling, it is actually writing the test plan into this folder called test plans. So if you see, there is nothing in this folder called test plans now. So let's see what it is actually going to write into that test plans. I'm not going to tell you, just wait for it to do its magic so that you guys can see it for yourself. So here on this right side, it is actually telling you how much time it is taking on a whole. So until now, it took you around 1 minute. So it is actually still working on preparing a initial draft for you. Yeah. So it is actually telling me I have created this MD file called login page test plan. And it is asking me if I have to keep it or undo it. I want to keep it because I don't want to waste whatever I've created until now. So I'm just going to say keep. So in 1 minute, it has actually created a test plan for you for the whole login page. See, if you go to this, it is actually telling you what are its assumptions. Test start from a fresh browser. Test accounts are available. And then network connectivity to the site is available. What are the prerequisites? Test account credentials. And then browser, either Chromium, Firefox, or Safari. So here I didn't tell what is a valid account and what is an invalid account. That is why it is assumed that this is a valid account. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to replace this value with my value. And my password is, okay, so this is I've replaced my values. So then it is actually telling you what is the success criteria. It is telling you valid credentials authenticate, invalid credentials show a clear error message. So here it is actually giving the test scenarios also. The first one is happy path, successful sign in. So it is saying when successfully signed in, the user is authenticated and taken to authenticated landing page or similar. And then it is actually going to show you user authenticated successfully pop up or something like that, and then a logout button. And then the second scenario is invalid password. The third scenario is for invalid email format. And then the fourth scenario is for required fields. So you cannot send an empty email or password. Okay, and then the fifth one is instead of clicking on the submit button, will it work if I click on enter key? And the sixth one is for reset tab. Am I actually able to reset my forgot password? These are security, rate limiting, SQL injection rejection, and then it is actually also testing for XSS injection safeguard. And then it is checking in another test case, it is actually checking if password masking is there. And then if it is also checking if remember me feature works properly or not. And then the accessibility checks. For accessibility testing is for people who are not able to access everything. And then some of the edge cases. Okay, so this is how it is actually written. Around 13 test cases only for login scenario. So what I am going to do now, I am just going to tell it. I'm going to go back to the chat. Instead of planner, I'm going to say generator. So this is the agent I have to use now. I'm going to say write a playwright test for me for the scenario. I at this point of time I only want to write a test case for this scenario in playwright. So I'm going to say copy, paste, and then enter. So now it is actually seeing if it can write a test case for this scenario. Now it actually looks inside this file, reads this test case, and then writes it to your repository. So right now, if you see, there is this folder called test. I only have 4 test files. Okay. So now let's try to see if it is actually creating a new test file for you. So it is actually showing you what is its whole thinking process. If you have time, you can actually go through the whole thinking process and see. So again, it is asking you to give it the approval, allow it. Again, allow it. See, it has navigated. Then allow it again. See, it has already went into the products page after logging in. So now everything is done. It is actually retrieving the whole test log. And now it is actually trying to write it is saying it actually wrote the test to a file called happypath successful signin.spec.ts. And now it is asking me if it wants to place it under the test and run it now. So I am going to say place it under the tests folder, but do not run it. So now let's try to see if it is actually creating a file over here. So it has actually understood our requirement. It is actually putting it inside the folder, but it is not running it. Now it is asking us if it wants to put it there. Yes. See this whole file. It has created a whole test case for us. Are you guys able to see the power of AI agents in Playwright? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and then write, then run this test. Okay. Now I'll show you guys how this beautiful tool called TraceViewer works. Okay. So I'm executing the test. Let the test case get executed. Okay. See, the whole test case has completed in less than 2 seconds. That is how fast the whole thing is. So you can see it has navigated, and then here you can see sign in is where it is actually focused on, and then it has given the value in the email text box, and then it has given the value in the password text box, and then it has given the did a click on the sign in button. You see, you can also see how accurate its click is. It actually clicked it exactly on the middle, showing the red dot for you. And then you can also see in the network tab, see, these are the API calls that happen. See, it is actually done an API call to my authorization API. And then you can see the response body. This is the response body. So I think it also made a call to get cart, but this actually get cart failed because we are not able to log in properly. And then you can also see what are the attachments. So after the whole thing is done, can you guys go on mute, please? Okay. So after the test case is executed, I have configured my framework in such a way that take a screenshot and attach it. So you are actually able to see the whole screenshot also here. So this is how trace viewer looks like. Here, if you see in the 4 seconds, you can actually put your cursor anywhere. If you want to see only this part, you can actually check only this part as well. So that is how good the trace viewer actually is. And for every action, there is a before and after. So what happened before the action and what happened after the action and what is the action itself. So if I see, so this click is there, right? So click is the action. What was the state of the page before the action? It is this. What was the page after the action? So it has clicked and this got blurred. So this is how trace viewer actually works for you. So now let's try to understand why did this test case fail. It is saying it is not able to it is not able to get the signed in successfully locator. And then it has actually given you an error saying something. So let's not dive into this error right now, but it is a good thing our test case failed. Now let's try to go ahead and use this agent called healer agent. Okay, now I'm actually going to ask it. This test case is failing when it is asserting the signed in successfully text with the error. So, okay, there. So I'm going to say, please fix the test. So this is a healer agent which actually heals your test case. So it is actually going to make sure your test case works properly. Yeah. So now it is actually went inside the website and also is suggesting us a change. So now I'm actually going to keep these changes. And then I'm actually going to run the test case again and see if it is passing or not. Yep. See, it has passed now. Previously it has failed. Now the healer agent has actually made the test script in such a way that you are not going to get that error again. So this is how your planner, generator, and healer agent actually work in Playwright. So in the course, at the end of the course, we actually have a separate section to teach you guys how to configure these agents and how to actually send good prompts to your agents to make sure you get a good output. Okay. So this is how the AI agents actually work in Playwright, and this is how the trace viewer works in Playwright. Now, since I have actually showed you guys about the trace viewer and AI agents, this is where the demo actually ends. So if you guys have any doubts, now you can ask me.
Yeah, hi, this is Jawahar. I just want to know this AI agent, whatever it is, this a extension to the the Playwright, like we need to install this separately, and do we need to any license for this?
No, we don't need to have any license for this. It comes directly with Playwright.
Okay, and I can see that AI agent along with the agent, the Gemini you used, or so that is we require any license, I think, right? I think means it's
So
a freeware.
GitHub Copilot actually gives you free range. So see, I have been working on this from a long time. Let me share the screen again and show you how it looks like.
Yeah, I just had doubt like that is this how different, like this is the same thing as a co-pilot, or this is a difference different.
So Copilot is an agent. So for an agent, you need to tell the language of Playwright. So that is called an MCP server. So if you see
Okay.
this is the level I have used until now. So I have been working on this from 3 months. So
Hmm.
once all the 100% is actually done in a single month, then you will have to pay for the upgraded version of GitHub Copilot, and then it will give you more limit.
Oh, okay.
So you can actually use any nice models you want. So these are the basic models, but if you want to use premium models of OpenAI, Cloud, or Google Gemini, then you have to pay for them. But these models are enough for us.
Okay.
Okay, guys, any other doubts?
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
Just had another question. See, now in the market we have multiple tools.
Mhm.
So, more transforming from a manual tester to automation, is Playwright just enough?
Playwright is just more than enough at this point of time, considering, see, end of the day, if you are moving to from a manual tester to an automation tester, they expect you to learn an automation tool.
Mm-hmm.
But they also expect you to learn Playwright. So instead of learning another automation tool, then upgrading to Playwright, why don't you just start learning Playwright itself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is how it is. So if you know Playwright, that should be enough.
Correct. And another question was, now that we are going to focus on TypeScript, right? So all the development that we do as part of this course will be on test script and not on JavaScript. Am I right?
It will be on JavaScript and both TypeScript also.
Okay, so we're gonna club and do it. Okay, fair enough. I've got an idea of it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I've got a question from Brahma in the chat asking if Yeah. If we are going to cover Playwright with Python, no. This course is not actually going to cover Playwright with Python. This is actually going to cover only JavaScript and TypeScript.
So you will be going through the basics of this JavaScript and TypeScript, or we should know that
No, I will
before.
teach you guys JavaScript and TypeScript also from scratch. Like anybody who has no understanding of coding also can join this course because this is for a beginner.
So is it like the beginner to expert, or like
Yeah,
it's
this
just a
is like
beginning?
the beginner to expert. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so I have a little already started working on Playwright and from last 1 year, but I just lack of uh, how to use the framework properly. But I use the framework, but I don't use it properly. I just use Google and just use the ChatGPT and write the code. But I just want to learn it very like from the scratch. So that's why I'm trying to join this session. So it will be like we'll be training from the scratch, the CI/CD pipeline, and all these things will be covered, I think, right?
yes, so it will be from scratch. There's no doubt about it. Like we'll spend 3 weeks only learning on JS and DS. So like I told in the WhatsApp group or anything, programming foundations are very important for us to learn any automation tool. So we'll be focusing on JavaScript and TypeScript programming first. And only when we are good at that, only when we have completed an important part of it, then we are going to move to Playwright.
Yeah, I have one question. Like, with this certificate that you will provide, will we have an expiry date with it, or it is very recognizable across the market?
No, it doesn't have a expiry date.
And last question, like from my side, is like, do you want to like in the market, like apart from your certification, if I want to do any certification related to this playwright or something, which certification is like widely accepted across all the companies or something like that? Like for example, in ISTQB for testing, like we do ISTQB, right? The same way. So is there any other certifications that is there to for playwright?
I don't think there is a specific certification per Playwright, even with ISTQB. So
Yeah,
for
not
your
I just showing an example. Like for testing, we have ISTQB. Like the similar way, is there any
no,
certification?
nothing,
No.
nothing as far as I know. No.
Okay.
Okay, I have one small question.
Yes, yeah.
So, can we create a custom agent, like suppose a reporting part or custom reporting part? Can we create a custom agent and we'll run this one?
So we can actually do that, but we don't need the Playwright agent to do it. We can actually use the existing GitHub Copilot and
Mm-hmm.
ask it to enrich our code to make sure to meet our needs.
So it means like how you like the healing and the creating and part, right? So like that way we can create using GitHub Copilot.
Yes, we can do that. That is a normal uh, GitHub Copilot agent without any support from Playwright's MCP.
Okay. Any limit for that, like as a users, like for like creating agents, sub reporting agents, custom reporting agents, kind of like the GitHub this one, the deployment agent kind of things.
So we can create custom reporting agents. That is not a problem. We can always do that.
Okay. Great. Thanks, Ash.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
have a
Rahul, right?
question from just 1 minute. There are few questions on the chat. So I have a question from Philip. How do you how do you offer how that will go over as well? Sorry, Philip, can you please reiterate your question? I'm not able to understand it.
Uh, Yes, I have one doubt actually. Nowadays, every application is moved to on-premises to cloud, and they are using authentication part like SS1 OTP. Is this possible with handling OTPs?
No, it is not possible to handle OTP with any automation tool.
Okay. So, how can we test that microservice-based applications? Like nowadays, we have more microservice-based applications, right, in cloud.
So the application that you have seen now, that is a microservice based application. So you have services running on the background.
Okay.
So yeah, it works. Playwright actually works. I mean, it's not like a special feature. Like just like Selenium, Playwright also works for it. Like that is not a special feature and it is already there.
And I seen that agent, we are giving that URL, right, to prepare the test cases and test and some other documents.
Yeah.
So client information we can't give, right? That is confidentially. So
Yeah. So
don't share that things actually.
if you are actually in a place where you cannot reveal your enterprise data, you cannot use the agent.
This is also like showing Copilot. I think it's like a Copilot, right? So we can't share that confidential information.
Yeah, we cannot share the confidential information if your company is actually prohibiting it.
Okay. So I think what type of framework we are using for this reporting? Like we have Cucumber BBD, some other framework is there, right? So, but the reporting part, which framework we are using in Playwright?
So here we are actually going to use a page object model framework. And for reporting, I will actually show you guys how to configure an hello reporter. Uh,
So yeah, I have one doubt. So we are starting for JavaScript and TypeScript, and next Playwright Basics, correct? Or so in the Playwright Basics also we are using that AI tool, or just we are explaining that locators step by step?
no,
Because in the demo,
we will learn everything from scratch the traditional
yeah,
way without AI agents.
yeah,
But
yeah.
at
If
the
we are
end,
using that AI agents,
yeah,
like it's code generate, but we don't understand what the exact
right.
use is. So we can
But at,
use that AI agents at the end of the project development only, correct?
yes, so at the end only we are actually going to see how these AI agents work. But
Yeah,
everything we are actually going to go and learn
yeah,
from scratch normally, just like how you would learn any tool previously.
yes, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, without AI agents,
Yeah,
whatever that core concepts. Yeah. How much duration for this?
7 weeks.
7 weeks. So daily 1 hour,
Yeah, 1 hour daily on weekdays.
only weekdays. Okay. So how much confidence after these 7 days? In the playwright, actually I'm like in my project already started that playwright, like previously somebody mentioned. Yeah, I already started, but I don't know what exactly that basics, that core concepts, that locators and everything. Just we are using that GitHub Copilot and whatever, generate the code and copy paste it, but that was feeling unhappy to me. So that is the reason I'm trying to learn that core concepts, not for this AI generate things, just copy paste. So yeah, did you understand my problem? Yeah. So now I need to, after completion this course, I need to learn that yeah, core concepts from basics to minimum advance. Yeah.
Yeah, that is always there. If you go through the curriculum, you will see the
Mhm.
AI agents at the bottom. So you learn everything from scratch, just like how a normal developer would learn, and then only you're actually going to learn about the agents.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I have a
Hi.
question from Sarvanan. Just 1 minute. So Sarvanan is asking, are we going to learn automation without AI? Yes. Like just like I answered right now, yes, we are going to learn everything from scratch without the agents. Then only we are actually going to go ahead with the agents. And then the next question is when you will start POM. So we are actually going to learn page object model when we actually see the framework development. So that is, so if I am starting the course today, that is mostly 1 month from now. That is when we are actually going to start POM. So Philip is asking if you give homework after the class for us to practice. Yes. By adding, Brahma is asking me, are you going to cover desktop applications? No, we are not going to cover any desktop applications because Playwright doesn't support desktop applications. Nisar is asking me if Playwright is only going to support web applications only and not no, it is actually not going to support any desktop applications, but mobile applications we can actually test our web page on mobiles. Like if you want to see how our web page works on an Samsung Galaxy S25 or iPhone 16 Pro Max, we can do that. We are actually covering the same in our course. We are actually having a separate lecture for this. And Swati is asking me, can we add this with any testing tool? Is this good? Swati, can you please tell me? I didn't get your question.
Yeah, I already learned Jmeter.
Uh-huh.
So that if you learn this course, can we add this in our resume?
Yes, of course, this
Further, is
playwright.
this good for us or not?
Yeah, this is playwright is actually going to add good weight to your resume. So
Okay.
undoubtedly, this is a good thing to add for your resume.
Okay, thank
Vicky is asking me, are you going to cover what MCP is and how to create AI agents? So I will make you guys understand what an MCP is. Okay. And I am not actually going to tell you how to create AI agents. The AI agents come directly from Playwright. So I'm going to show you how to use them and how to configure them in your repository. And then could Playwright be used for DB testing? Yes. So basically, you are not using Playwright for DB testing. Okay. You will actually use your JavaScript or TypeScript code and the libraries that are provided by Node.js to actually query your database and then get your results and then do some assertions on them. So the only place where Playwright comes into play in this whole scenario is during the assertions. Uh, which framework you are going to cover? Which are those? Uh, yeah, we are actually going to use page object model in this. So it is a test driven framework. It is not a behavior driven framework like Cucumber. And then Kokila is asking me, when are we starting with regular sessions? So Kokila, we are actually starting with the regular sessions from tomorrow itself, the same timing.
Okay, sure. Okay.
How much is the course in dollars? So I think it's $99. You can actually check with Isha Solutions for that. And Kavita is asking me, are you going to start from downloading VS Code, Playwright, GitHub on Windows as well? So we're actually going to start with downloading Node, and then we will see how to install npm, then we will see how to see VS Code, then we will see Playwright. There is no specific thing on how to install GitHub. So you don't install GitHub. The only thing is you need to create an account on GitHub, which is very straightforward. If you guys don't understand it by the end of the class, we can take 15 to 20 minutes to show you how to actually set up an account on GitHub. Okay. So Sri is asking me, during the performance testing time, we are integrating with Jmeter and Selenium for checking the UI part. Similar way, we can do it with Playwright. So I have not worked with Jmeter yet. So I'm not sure how you are actually integrating Selenium with Jmeter, but if you are able to actually integrate one automation tool, he will also have support to integrate another automation tool. So that should be fine.
One small question. So this is a recorded session, right? This demo session.
Yes, this is a recorded session.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to share this demo session to some of my friends who want to join. If where can I find this demo session?
So after some time, it will be there. It will come on the WhatsApp group as a YouTube
Okay.
link, so you can share it to them.
Yeah, sure. And I just have one question. Like, see, we have only 1 hour session, right, every day. So if you have any doubts or questions or something that is we have, how can we like? So this, for example, if every day 1 hour is like you will be planned session will be there. So if doubts and all, it will take some more time. So it will plan will be changed, right? So how you will be like given time uh, for the doubts.
So we'll be having some time at the end of the day for doubts. And you can also always reach out to me on WhatsApp if you have a specific doubt.
Okay.
So,
And apart from the last thing, like if you have any interviews, like for interview support, for example, any I'm just attending any interview, I have some doubts related to the interview questions. After the course is completed, how many weeks or months you will give the support from Isha Foundation, like Isha?
so it's not like how many weeks or months. It's not, there's no specific stipulated time. So if you think you are not able to figure out something and you want my help, you can always ping me and I'll respond to you.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So Deepak is asking me, are you going to demonstrate flakiness? Yes. I'm going to demonstrate the whole auto wait thing using Playwright on the test web application that we have seen. Okay, Sri is telling, please, if you get any chance, provide with us real-time challenges for scripting and execution, final reporting. Yes. So the whole point of us creating this framework is about that. We want to see how we create a real-time thing. Okay, Nisar is asking if we can have nice title and name. Yeah, I will share this feedback with the Isha guys. Okay. So recording sessions will access lifetime. Yes, the recording is accessible to you for lifetime. Any other questions, guys?
Okay, just to confirm again, you said this course is for 5 days, right?
Yes, so 5 days a week, Monday to Friday.
Okay, so meaning we're gonna start tomorrow until next week. Meaning the course is gonna start from tomorrow.
Yeah, the course is gonna start from tomorrow. Yes, the same time.
Until when?
Yeah.
Until.
So I am anticipating it to get completed by March 20th.
Okay, March 20th. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Vicky is asking me if trace here in Playwright is similar to time travel in Cypress. I didn't see a feature called time travel in Cypress, but I guess they are same. Okay, guys. So any other doubts before we wrap up for the day?
Yeah, not a query as such, but maybe just want to check or probably suggest if you could touch upon some of the best practices, mostly
We will.
from a playwright automation perspective. Yeah.
Yes. So if you see the curriculum, we have something for best practices. So
Yep.
I already have a document which I'm going to share it with you once we reach that point of time.
Right. Cool. Makes sense. Thanks for that.
So Vicky is asking me, is manual interaction always mandatory? Yes. So unless and until you know that there is a failure, you're not going to ask it to heal it, right? So that is why only when something fails and you ask mandatorily, it is actually going to fix it. Sri is asking me JavaScript and TypeScript market is better. Yes, it is better than Java and C hash, but it is on par with Python.
Hey Ash, I just have one question.
Yes.
So you mentioned that we have like huge demand for this automation tool across the world, right? So just wanted to hear from you how the opportunities are in Canada.
It's not just about Canada, US, UK, or India. So,
Throughout.
everywhere there is an automation tester requirement.
Okay.
They are expecting you to learn or know Playwright. Not so at least 90% of the job descriptions today want you to know Playwright, and 50% of them want you to know Playwright as the main skill. So,
Okay.
for the job applications where Playwright is not the main skill, you having Playwright is actually going to put you in the top list of people who they might want to interview.
Okay.
So, adding that to your resume is actually going to make sure that the ATS system is actually going to hit your resume and put it on top.
Okay. So I have like more experience into the development projects, and I'm like working in IBM iCD ACE 400. So trying to move to a different tool or technology, and that's where I came to know like Playwright automation tool is being a good demand in the market, right? So
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah, it would add more into my resume.
Yeah, you are in the right place. So I
Okay.
hope you will learn Playwright nicely by the end of the course, and you'll be able to add it to your resume.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ish.
So somebody is asking one final question: will you be teaching more with the inbuilt locator than this dot locator? So inbuilt locators are what we are actually going to teach. So this dot locator is something that we actually write using object-oriented programming, which we will see when we are seeing about the programming. Okay guys, if there is no other doubt, have a nice day. Please go through the demo recording again if you want to, and share it with people who are actually wanting to join the course. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the regular class at the same time. Thank you. Bye.